My dear, the journey you have walked has been long and heavy with silence. I have watched each step you took, sometimes stumbling through the shadowed valleys of waiting, feeling as if time itself had abandoned you. You have pressed your hands into the soil of longing, your heart aching for a promise, yet unseen, a blessing that refused to unveil itself on your timeline. I know the weary ache that settled deep within your bones when hope seemed distant, when every hopefulness was met with the bitter taste of delay. There is a sacredness in your waiting, though your soul may ask, why must this be so hard? Oh, beloved, I have been crafting you in the hidden places, molding your patience like the potter's hands, shaping the delicate clay. The wait was not wasted. It was a crucible refining what cannot be hurried, the deep roots of faith entwining with the unseen, the quiet whispers of my love growing stronger in the silence between your prayers. I have not left you alone in the wilderness. I have been right there beside you even when your eyes could not perceive my presence. To wait is to be tested by my timing, which flows beyond what your heart can grasp. A river cutting through mountains, silent and sure. This waiting conceals the hidden treasures that will one day overflow in your life. How often your mind raced ahead, painting scenes of defeat or despair, questioning the purpose of the delay. Yet in this very stillness, I was performing a symphony of grace, preparing you, my dear, to receive more than you could have asked or imagined. Your waiting was never in vain. Like the dawn that breaks after the darkest night, or the gentle seed bursting forth from barren earth, the time you endured was the very soil from which your deepest joy will grow. A harvest is coming, not just of what you long for, but of transformation within your spirit. A deep knowing that I am faithful beyond all measure. Do not let your heart harden in this season. Instead, breathe in the truth that I hold you close. I hear every whispered cry, every silent tear. If your soul is burdened when the weight of waiting presses upon you, lean into me. Let this truth settle in you. Not a moment of waiting escapes my purpose for your life. I am weaving a tapestry of exquisite beauty from each thread of patience, every strand of hope that you clung to in the quiet hours. Your story is not forgotten. It is honored, written deep into the annals of my love. Come to me again today with the fragile offering of your restless heart, and I will gift you peace that surpasses all understanding. Receive the warmth of my presence as a balm for your weary spirit. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away now. I am here, waiting to reveal to you that every second of your wait was nothing less than worth it. My dear child, I see the weight you bear within you, the quiet burdens that press down on your spirit, the invisible scars that shape your every breath. The struggle you face is not hidden from me, nor is it something I have permitted without purpose. I have watched over you in your moments of darkness and confusion, standing not at a distance but right beside you, unwavering and gentle, like the soft whisper of morning light that gradually pushes away the shadows. There is a wound that runs deep, a place within your heart that has been bruised by the sharp edges of disappointment, betrayal, or loneliness. It's a wound that does not always bleed openly but seeps quietly, coloring your thoughts with a silent ache. My beloved, I am tender toward that place. I am patient, waiting not with impatience or frustration, but with a love that endures through every season of waiting and questioning. You may feel that I am distant, that my silence echoes louder than my presence. But know this, sometimes the silence you perceive is the space I create for you to lean deeper into me. It is within this quietness that I am shaping the landscape of your heart, preparing you for what is to come. When the world rushes and clamors for answers, I am teaching you the sacred art of waiting, not as a punishment, but as a nourishment for your soul's growth. The shadows you face are not without purpose. They are the fertile soil where I plant seeds of strength, faith, and resilience. Though the pain may feel unbearable at times, it is never without my sustaining grace. I am molding you, refining the precious vessel that you are, so that when you rise again, you will shine with a brilliance born from trials overcome. In these moments of inner turmoil, do not rush to silence your questions or push away your doubts. Bring them to me. Lay them before my feet with honesty and vulnerability. Here in my presence, you are safe to be raw, to be real, and to be heard without judgment. The ache in your heart is a language I understand intimately. It is not a sign of failure, but a testimony to your humanity and courage. Remember, my steadfast love is your refuge and strength. When your shoulders bend beneath the pressure, reach out your hand to me and I will lift you. I am your ever-present help, the anchor in the storm, the quiet breath in the exhausting race. Do not let your heart dwell in despair, for I have not forgotten you. Far from it. I am weaving a tapestry of hope from the threads of your grief and pain. You are never alone, even when the night seems endless. I am the lamp to your feet and the light to your path. You may not always see me clearly through the veil of tears, but my hand is always extended toward you, ready to draw you close and offer rest. Take heart, my dear, and let this truth settle in you. The journey through your struggle is as vital as the destination. I am with you in every step, offering patience where you feel urgency, peace where you sense chaos, and love that surpasses your understanding. I invite you now to close your eyes and feel my presence surrounding you like a protective embrace. Breathe deeply, the assurance of my unwavering love. Will you believe this promise today, even when your heart trembles with uncertainty? Will you allow me to be your refuge in this storm? Hold fast to this tender whisper of my spirit. You are cherished, seen, and held with a love that will never let go. Let your heart turn willingly toward me and know that in surrendering your pain to me, you find the doorway to healing. Do not be afraid to lean into my comfort, for within it lies the peace that your soul longs for. Draw near, and let the balm of my presence soothe the bruised places within you. Let me minister to the hidden wounds, for I am a God who binds up the brokenhearted and carries you gently through the darkest valleys. As you carry these words in your heart, remember this calling. Bring your burdens to me without hesitation. Lay down your unrest at my feet and receive the rest I freely give. In this exchange, you will find your spirit renewed, your hope restored, and your courage revived. I am with you always, waiting patiently with outstretched arms. Trust in my timing, my faithfulness, and my tender mercy. For even in the silence and the waiting, I am working all things together for your good. Will you hold on to this hope today? Will you lean on me when your strength falters? The choice to trust me in your pain is the first step toward the freedom and joy I desire to give you. Now, take a moment with me to quiet your heart and receive the comfort that only I can provide. Let my love fill the spaces where fear and doubt once resided, replacing them with peace beyond understanding. Let this divine assurance settle within you and inspire a new chapter of trust and hope. You are not abandoned. You are never forsaken. My kindness toward you is steadfast, my faithfulness eternal. If your heart stirs with a need for more of my presence, do not turn away, but come closer. Rest in my promises and find the strength to face each day, knowing you walk not alone, but held securely in my hands. My dear child, you stand at a crossroads within your soul, burdened by the weight of guilt and the shadows of shame. I see every fragment of your spirit, even those you hide from yourself. The struggle you carry is not foreign to me, for I know the depths of your heart and the whispers of regret that cling to your memories. Yet I want to reveal to you a truth that shatters the chains you wear. Your guilt does not define you, nor does your shame imprison your destiny. I have called you my beloved before the foundations of the world were laid, and my love for you remains steadfast beyond every misstep. The weight of guilt presses upon you like a heavy yoke, a burden you believe you must bear alone. But I am here to tell you that this burden was never meant for you to carry without my presence beside you. I am the one who bore the price of your transgressions. Through me, every sin can be washed clean. Every fault can be redeemed. Imagine a river of light flowing through the darkest chambers of your heart, cleansing slowly yet surely, dissolving what once seemed permanent. This is my work within you, a transformation that requires your surrender, your willingness to let me in, and your faith that I am greater than any mistake. Shame is a deceitful voice, cunning in its assault. It whispers lies that say you're too broken, too unworthy, too far gone for my grace to touch you. Hear me clearly, child. I am the God who delights in redeeming the broken, restoring the lost, and raising the fallen. You are not your shame. You are the cherished one whom I call by name. When the weight of condemnation tries to engulf you, reach for my hand. Trust in my unfailing mercy, and know that my forgiveness does not falter. It is a wellspring that never dries, a refuge where you can find rest. Consider the story of a precious vessel, cracked and chipped through years of wear and sorrow. Human hands might discard it, deeming it worthless. But I see beyond the flaws. I am the master, potter, shaping and molding, filling those broken spaces with golden seams of grace and healing. The cracks in your life are not the end of your story. They are the places where my light shines through most brilliantly. Let this truth settle within you. You are being made new, not in your own strength, but through my enduring love. To embrace forgiveness is to unlock a door within your soul, one that leads to freedom and peace. Yet I know that it is no simple step. It requires humility and courage to look honestly at your past and release it into my hands. Yet I promise you this: when you do, you will find a release that lifts you higher than you ever thought possible. The burden of guilt will turn into a mantle of grace, a testimony of my saving power, alive in your life. Will you believe me this time, beloved? Will you allow my mercy to penetrate the darkest places in your heart? I invite you now to dwell in quietness before me, to lay your shame at my feet, and to receive the healing I freely offer. My spirit is present, ready to embrace you with gentleness and strength. Speak to me honestly about your fears and regrets, for I am not distant or cold. I'm your refuge and your healer. Trust that as you confess and surrender, you are walking step by step into the fullness of life I have prepared for you. Remember, my dear, that forgiveness is not only a gift to receive, but a light meant to from you. As you release your own shame and guilt, you become a beacon to others trapped in their own shadows. Your journey through redemption offers hope to those who feel hopeless, proving that no one is beyond the reach of my love. Let your heart embrace this calling and watch how I will use your weakness to demonstrate my strength. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away but come closer. The healing you seek is already within your grasp. I am with you now and always, calling you into the light, into freedom, into my everlasting embrace. Let this moment mark a new beginning, where guilt is transformed into grace and shame gives way to joy. This is my promise to you. Let your soul rest in this assurance tonight and feel my love surround you completely, tender yet powerful, quiet, yet unshakable. The journey ahead may still hold challenges, but you will never walk it alone. Take this truth to heart and let it guide every thought, every step, every breath. You are my beloved, forgiven, healed, and forever held. My dear, I see how fear can twist around your heart like thick vines, choking the light and hope right out of you. It is a burden that seems so heavy, pressing down with invisible hands, making every breath a labor, every step cautious and uncertain. Yet, I am here, always present, the quiet refuge where your fears dissolve beneath the warmth of my gaze. Imagine a child trembling in the dark, uncertain of what lurks beyond the flicker of a dying candle. I am that gentle hand reaching into the shadow, tenderly lifting you into the light of unwavering peace. Do you feel that trembling within? It is not merely fear itself, but the uncertainty that fear sows, a whispering doubt that tries to convince you that you must face your struggles alone. But, my dear child, you were never meant to carry this weight by yourself. When the waves roar and the storm clouds gather, you can anchor your soul in my truth, a harbor calm, steadfast, and wide open to shelter you from the tempest. The mountain you see ahead may loom tall and unchanged, but I walk beside you every step, steadying your feet and strengthening your will. Fear often cloaks itself as the voice of reason, cautioning you with well-crafted lies that beckon you to retreat. But hear me when I say this. Fear is not from me, nor does it have the final word over your heart. Faith is the light that burns brighter than all your fears combined, a lamp that turns even the darkest path into a pilgrimage of hope and courage. To walk by faith is to trust me with every unfamiliar step, to believe that I have mapped your journey, even when you cannot see the way ahead. Even when your eyes strain to make sense of the road, my hand holds yours, unwavering and sure. I know how anxiety can swirl like a relentless wind inside you, making your thoughts a relentless storm. The fear of what might happen, the what-ifs that spiral into endless chains. These are not yours to bear alone. When your mind races and your heart pounds as if trying to escape your chest, breathe into my presence. I am the whisper in your chaos, the quiet assurance that you're not forgotten, not forsaken, and not beyond my care. You are held in my heart more securely than any fortress built by human hands. Consider the lilies of the field, how they neither toil nor spin, yet they flourish. This same care extends to you, my beloved. Your worries and anxieties are known to me intimately, more than the sum of your fears or the weight of your doubts. When you feel overwhelmed, bring your burdens before me, for my yoke is easy and my burden light. Surrender your anxious thoughts. Let them flow from your grasp into mine, where they will be transformed into peace that passes understanding. There is strength in releasing control to me, in choosing trust over panic, hope over despair. Doubt, too, can sting like a hidden serpent, wrapping your heart in uncertainty about my promises and your place in my plan. It is natural to question when the answers you crave refuse to come, or when silence meets your prayers. But my dear, do not mistake my silence for absence. Even when you do not hear me or perceive my movement, I am weaving a tapestry of grace and purpose in your life, far beyond what you can see. Every delay, every waiting moment, serves a divine purpose that your finite mind cannot always grasp. You may feel unsteady between faith and doubt, yet in that very tension, I am calling you closer. Instead of turning away in frustration, lean in and wrestle with me openly and honestly. The embrace of trust does not demand the absence of questions, but invites honesty amidst uncertainty. I delight in your seeking heart, your courage to question and persist. Do not fear your doubts. Carry them to me and allow my love to soothe them with understanding and patience. My beloved, this journey through fear, anxiety, and doubt is not merely a trial, but a path to deeper revelation and intimacy with me. Each moment you bring your trembling heart into my presence is a step towards freedom and peace. Let the storm rage outside while your soul rests within my unshakable kingdom. You are not defined by what frightens you, but by my steadfast love that never fails. Will you reach out your hand and take hold of my calm? Will you allow me to quiet your heart and fill the restless places with my peace? This peace is not the absence of storms, but the assurance that I am greater than every tempest, every shadow, every voice of fear. Let this truth settle within you now. You are cherished beyond measure, guarded with overflowing love, and never alone in your struggle. Come, bring your fears to me, surrender your anxieties, and step forward in the assurance that you are held by a love so fierce and tender that no fear can stand against it. Will you believe me this time? Beloved, I am here, always here, waiting with open arms and a heart wide enough to shelter yours forever. My beloved, as you wrestle with the shadows of fear, anxiety, and doubt, know that I am the steady hand guiding you through the wilderness of your heart. There is a tempest raging within you, sometimes quiet, sometimes fierce, that whispers lies of despair and hollowness. Yet even amid this turmoil, my presence is as certain as the dawn following the darkest night. Your fears are not a barrenness to be shunned, but a fertile ground where I wish to plant seeds of courage and truth. Imagine, beloved, a child lost in a vast forest. The night descends, swallowing the warmth of the sun, and fear tightens its grip on tender hearts. You may feel just like this child, overwhelmed by shadows that do not originate from the forest itself, but from their own unease. But I am the gentle voice that calls from the edge of the trees, the steady flame flickering to remind you that you are not alone, not now, nor ever. My love is the unquenchable beacon reaching through the veil of uncertainty to anchor your trembling soul. Your anxiety is not a failing, but a doorway, a trembling at the threshold where your soul yearns for freedom. When doubt creeps in like a silent fog, it can cloud your vision, causing your heart to question your own worth, your path, and my promises. Yet I'm not distant. I'm nearer than breath, closer than your heartbeat. I'm the quiet calm after the storm, the stillness that cradles your soul. Will you reach out and trust that, even when your eyes see only confusion, I am weaving order beyond your understanding? Beloved, call upon me in these moments. Do not fear the trembling or the shaking of your spirit, for these stirrings are the doorways I have made for your growth. Anxiety is not the enemy, but a signpost pointing toward your need for rest in me. When the night feels unrelenting, lean into my presence. Pour out your heart to me as a thirsty land welcomes the rain. I am the source of living water that will calm your unrest, diluting your fears with peace that surpasses every human understanding. Consider the story of a sailor caught in a storm at sea. Waves tower with terrifying might, and darkness cloaks every familiar landmark. Yet, the sailor need not steer by the chaos around, but by the lighthouse fixed steadfast on the distant shore. So I am for you, a lighthouse whose light never fails, regardless of the storm. Look toward me when your mind is consumed by the relentless tide of what if and I cannot. My love stands resolute, lighting the path for your weary feet. Child, every fear you face is known intimately by me. Even in what you perceive as your greatest doubts, I am working unseen miracles. Sometimes, I allow the fog of uncertainty to soften your grip on control, making room for your faith to rise like a sunburst over the horizon. I do not promise ease without challenge, but I promise my unwavering presence. I do not condemn your doubts, but invite you to lay them bare before me, to exchange them for a trust that holds firm like an ancient oak, rooted deep beneath the storms of the world. Within your anxiety lies a precious call to surrender. This does not mean weakness, but a brave humility. Surrender your striving to be self-sufficient and mighty, and you will find a power beyond your own, a divine strength that fills your empty places and renews your spirit. When you let go of the frantic, grasping at certainty, you make room for me to cradle you with peace, to steady your hands and calm your racing heart. Will you take that step toward me today? Remember, I am not silent in your silence. When you feel abandoned or unheard, my spirit is moving gently, nudging your heart toward stillness. The rush of your anxious thoughts may drown out this subtle whisper, but it is there, persistent and true. Rest long enough in my arms, my beloved, to hear the quiet cadence of my love. This abiding presence is your refuge, a sacred harbor where even your greatest fears are disarmed by the wonder of my grace. Anxiety can sometimes make you feel like a prisoner, locked behind invisible bars forged from worry and dread. Yet I came to release captives and set free those bound by invisible chains. There is a holy freedom waiting for you, a liberation found not in your ability to conquer fear alone, but in the trusting surrender to my care. I will walk with you through every valley, illuminating the narrow path with my unwavering light. Will you let your heart open enough to accept this freedom today? I myself have known what it means to be misunderstood and to wrestle with agony. My love for you is forged in understanding and compassion that surpass earthly comprehension. When your mind races with what if and who will help me, my heart answers, I am here, always here. Open your hands, beloved, and receive the peace I offer, not as the world gives, but as a sacred gift that fills even the deepest emptiness within you. Let this truth settle in you. You are held not only in my hands, but in the breath of my heart's unending love. I am the silent stronghold in your battles, the loving voice in your confusion. Do not shrink away from your fears or doubts. Instead, bring them to me, that I may transform them into stepping stones toward trust, faith, and eternal peace. Will you place your trembling heart in my hands and rest in knowing that I am your unshakable hope? Beloved, I see how the shadows of fear creep quietly into your heart, bending your thoughts toward uncertainty and distress. Fear is a cunning adversary, sometimes roaring like a tempest, other times whispering like a secret in the twilight. It makes you question the path already set before you, the promises spoken over your life, and even my unending presence beside you. But hear this from me, your steadfast refuge. Fear does not own you. It does not hold the final word in your story. Imagine your life as a vast ocean, expansive and deep, at times calm under a warm sun, at others fraught with trembling waves stirred by fierce winds. Fear is like the sudden swell that threatens to overturn your vessel, a wave that can make the voyage seem perilous and the horizon unreachable. But I am the captain who holds the helm firmly in my hands. I steady the ship, I calm the storms, and I guide you toward safe harbors, even when the waters rise high and darkness clouds your view. You might find yourself questioning your place, doubting your strength, or fearing the unknown steps ahead. This is the moment I come closest, enveloping you in my peace that surpasses all understanding, a peace unlike any the world can offer. Let that peace rush over your spirit like a healing balm, soothe your frayed nerves and cast out tremors of anxiety. I am here, unwavering and powerful, ready to be your shield and your sanctuary. There are times when fear feels like a silent thief, stealing joy and blinding you to the goodness that surrounds you. It is then I whisper to your heart, with words not of condemnation, but of courage. You are my beloved child, crafted with purpose, held in love deeper than oceans, stronger than the fiercest winds. Each anxious thought is an invitation for you to lean into me more fully, to surrender your burdens, no matter how heavy or trivial they seem. Do not mishear me and think I ask you to deny the reality of your emotions. I have created you with a wondrous heart, capable of feeling deeply for pain, for joy, for hope. Feel these things, but do not allow fear to dictate your steps or dim the light that I placed within you. When your thoughts breed uncertainty, bring them gently into our quiet place. Pour out your worries and watch how I transform them into seeds of faith. Faith is the steady hand that will cradle you amid the storms. Faith doesn't erase fear instantly. Instead, it honors your feelings while choosing to trust in my unwavering promises. Trust begins by taking small steps of obedience in the very places you feel fragile. Each step you take into my presence, each prayer lifted from your heart, is a declaration that fear's grip will not have mastery over your destiny. Sometimes, my child, fear can be born from the memories of past trials or unseen futures. You might carry scars from old battles where hope seemed distant or victories rare. I see these scars, and I wear them too, so you are never alone in your struggles. My love heals what the past has broken. My grace renews strength where you felt depleted. If you allow me, I will help you turn those wounds into wisdom, those scars into marks of resilience, signs that you have endured and will endure because you are upheld by my mighty hand. There is power in surrender. I ask you for all the fears you clutch tightly, those veiled in shadow, and those whispered in the silence of night. Surrender them to me as a child runs into the arms of a loving father, desperate for comfort and rest. Cling not to your fears, but to me with all your might, and watch how I transform that fear into boldness, that anxiety into peace, that doubt into unshakable certainty. In this surrender lies your freedom, freedom to live not under the tyranny of fear, but under the grace of my everlasting love. Freedom to open your hands and let go of the burdens that weigh you down. Freedom to stand firm, not because of your own strength, but because of the power I pour into you. Fear loses its reign as you anchor yourself in the truth of who you are in me, a child worthy of love, destined for hope, and called to walk blessed and unafraid. My quiet invitation to you now is this: come, lay down your fears at my feet. Speak honestly to me about what shakes your soul. Place your trembling hands in mine and feel how I steady them. Breathe in my peace that envelops and sustains you. Each breath you take in my presence is a step toward liberation from fear's grip. Will you choose to trust me this day, even when the horizon remains unseen? Will you believe that I am greater than every fear that tries to bind you? Let this assurance settle deeply in your heart, settling every restless thought like a tranquil dawn, melting away the night. Remember, beloved, I am with you always, your shield in the fiercest storm, your light in darkest night, and your song in the silence. Fear need not be your master when you can anchor your soul in my boundless love. Draw close to me and live in the courage that flows from my everlasting presence. If your heart stirs, do not turn away. Come find rest under the shelter of my wings. My dear, I see you wandering through shadows that feel too dense, as though the very ground beneath your feet has slipped away, leaving you unmoored in a vast wilderness. This sense of being lost is not without purpose. In fact, it is a sacred part of your journey within my heart. I understand intimately what it means to feel unseen and abandoned, even when the silence is deafening and the night stretches endlessly before you. Know that these moments are not outside my reach. They are very much inside my watchful care, woven into the fabric of my desire to bring you into deeper intimacy and trust. In the echoing chambers of your spirit, where doubt hovers like a fog and loneliness wraps around you like a cold cloak, I'm there as the steady flame, the unwavering light that even the darkest night cannot extinguish. When you feel invisible to human eyes, utterly dismissed or misunderstood, it may lead you to question your own worth, or to wonder if I have forgotten you. But my beloved, I have never taken my eyes off you. I am mindful of every tear you have shed, each silent prayer you whisper in the quiet of your soul. You are not hidden from me. You are cradled close under my wings, cherished beyond measure. The ache of abandonment is perhaps one of the deepest wounds you bear, yet it is also a mirror reflecting my heart's desire to be all you need. When relationships fail, when voices fall silent, or when circumstances seem to isolate you, it might feel as though you stand alone on a deserted shore. But I am the eternal ocean surrounding you, constant, unrelenting, drawing your soul into the rhythms of my presence. The waves of my love wash over your despair, cleansing and renewing you, even when you cannot sense it. You belong to me entirely, and no force, no distance, no trial can sever that bond. Consider the times in your life when you have felt lost and unseen. Were these not also times when I was teaching you to rely not on fleeting human validation, but on the unshakable truth of my acceptance? Though hidden, I was forming in you a resilience, a deeper understanding of your spiritual worth that no worldly success or approval could ever provide. I am more than enough for your soul. Lay down the heavy weights of seeking approval where it will not be found, and lean instead into my presence, where you are always celebrated, embraced, and fully understood. This wilderness of feeling lost also serves to bring you to a place of true surrender. There is a mysterious beauty in being emptied, stripped of illusions, and exposed to the rawness of your spiritual self. It is here that I meet you, in this vulnerability, and invite you to rest. Not a rest of inactivity, but a sacred pause, a divine intercept in your wandering. Rest in this truth. You are not forgotten, you are not forsaken, and you are never beyond the reach of my love. When your soul is weary from searching for answers beyond me, return to my heart, where clarity, peace, and eternal belonging await. Your journey through the wilderness is not aimless. It is purposeful, infused with my intention. I am guiding you toward a new horizon, a revelation of your spiritual identity that can only be discovered through this experience of being lost. Sometimes, the deepest sense of belonging arises from having lost your way, for it is in that honest unknowing that you can finally surrender your own agendas and desires, choosing instead to trust in my path. Let go of striving and struggling to grasp control and step into the humble posture of a child who knows that the Father's hand will lead home. Know this: any feeling of abandonment or invisibility is a lie that seeks to steal your peace, erode your faith, and obscure your vision. It is a shadow that cannot stand in the presence of my radiant love. I call you now to open your heart and let my truth shine into every dark corner, banishing the feelings of isolation. I desire you to walk forward with renewed courage, not clinging to your fears, but holding tightly to the knowledge that you are held by hands that never let go. Your worth is defined by me, your identity secured by my grace, and your belonging guaranteed through my covenant love. I invite you to lay down your burdens here and now. Give me the fragments of your brokenness, the shards of your doubt, and the heavy stones of your loneliness. Let them fall away in my presence so that you may rise renewed, elevated above the torment of feeling lost and unseen. You are not alone in this wilderness, my dear child. I am your companion, your guide, your refuge. Embrace this profound truth with your whole heart and let it settle deep within your soul like a soothing balm. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. Lean into this sacred invitation to be known fully and loved unconditionally. Trust that the very desert you wander is watering your roots, preparing you for a harvest of joy and belonging beyond anything you have yet imagined. My eyes search for you. My heart waits for you. Come closer, and let me reveal the fullness of my love for you. My dear, the journey you walk is not unknown to me. Every hesitation, every whispered doubt that clings to your heart, I hold them tenderly as a potter holds his clay, ready to shape and mold you in ways only a divine hand can. I know that sometimes the path ahead seems shrouded in mist, as if you are wandering in a vast wilderness without a clear direction. The silence can feel deafening, and the stillness can weigh heavily upon your spirit. Yet within this silence and waiting, I am at work, orchestrating a symphony of grace and purpose that will unveil itself in the perfect time. Trusting me with that space, that sacred pause, is an act of faith that I cherish deeply. Have you noticed how often the most vital growth is hidden beneath the surface of what seems like inactivity? When the seed lies buried in the dark soil, the smallest movements of transformation occur unseen by the eye, but crucial to the life it will bear. So it is with your soul during moments of waiting. I see you, my beloved, not as stagnant, but as fertile ground, quietly strengthened and prepared for what lies ahead. Your restless heart, your desire to move forward, is the wind that stokes the flame of your impending breakthrough. Yet I ask you, will you be willing to rest even when you do not understand my timing? Will you surrender your impatience as a fragrant offering of trust? There is a sacred rhythm to my plans, one that humanity often overlooks in its yearning for immediacy. The stars do not race across the sky, nor do the rivers hasten to meet the ocean. Each follows its ordained course, unified by a perfect harmony beyond human comprehension. So too is your journey mapped out in a cadence that aligns with heavenly wisdom. I am not distant in your waiting. I am near, whispering the quiet words of hope into your heart. Even when the night seems long and your prayers echo unanswered, I am weaving together unseen tapestries that will outshine your greatest expectations. Please let this truth settle in your spirit. Waiting is not wasteful or empty. It is a divine preparation. It is the workshop of my love where your character is gently refined like gold in the fire. Will you lean into my presence rather than push against the delay? Will you find solace in the promise that nothing you endure in this season is without purpose? I invite you to rest in my assurance that your waiting is fertile ground and your surrender is my delight. When doubt creeps in and questions swirl like unsettled storms in your mind, come to me with a heart unburdened by the need to understand everything at once. I am patient and gracious, knowing that your journey of faith is a step-by-step dance, sometimes hesitant, sometimes bold, yet always held securely in my hands. Will you believe me this time when I say that your waiting season is ripe with unseen blessings? That in this quietude, you are being positioned for a divine breakthrough that will surpass what you have dreamed? Let your heart be comforted, child, for I am the God of perfect timing. I am never late, even when you feel forgotten or overlooked. Your story is written with my eternal ink, and every chapter unfolds precisely when it is meant to. In those moments when your spirit longs for answers, reach for me with a hope that outlasts the silence. Entrust me with the parts of your heart that feel restless, and watch how I transform waiting into witnessing the fulfillment of promises. Your faith, tested in patience, will shine brighter than the morning sun. Does this settling call your soul? Will you open your hands to release control and take hold of the peace I offer? This is an invitation not to retreat, but to lean closer, to draw deep from the well of my love as you await my perfect work. You are not alone in the stillness. I am here, ever present, delighting in every sigh you breathe and every tear you shed. Let this tender reality cradle your spirit and prepare you for the glorious awakening that will come. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away from this sacred pause. Embrace it as a holy gift, a time of glorifying me in trust and submission. For in your surrender, I am at work, crafting a testimony that will testify not to your strength, but to the gentle power of my grace. This waiting is not the end, beloved, but the fertile ground from which hope will spring and victory will bloom. Will you believe me in the moments when you feel weakest? Will you rest in the truth that your time is held securely in my hands and my timing is always perfect? Let this assurance permeate your soul before you move forward. My dear child, when the night seems to stretch endlessly and the warmth of connection feels just beyond your reach, I want you to know that you are never truly alone. There is a profound and sacred intimacy that I desire to share with you, a belonging not shaped by circumstances, approval, or fleeting encounters, but by the very essence of my heart knitted with yours. This is a deep spiritual belonging, an eternal union crafted by my unwavering love and enduring commitment to you, even when your soul feels scattered like autumn leaves caught in a restless wind. You may have wandered through seasons where you felt unseen, unheard, or misunderstood. Perhaps you sought companionship or affirmation in places that left your spirit empty and your heart aching. Yet, before you ever yearned, before you ever felt the ache of solitude, I knew you intimately. Every pulse, every sigh, every silence has been noticed by me. This intimacy is not a distant ideal. It is the fabric of our relationship woven into every moment you live. It is an unbroken thread binding us together, unshaken by time, space, or the wavering of human affections. Imagine how close I lean in to listen to the unspoken longings of your heart. How tenderly I gather the fragments of your fears and dreams, weaving them into a tapestry that tells the story of my love for you. When you feel disconnected, it may be that you're gazing at the world through a veil of pain or doubt. Yet behind that veil I am there, constant, inviting you to take off all masks and rest in your true self, wholly known and wholly cherished. Let this reality settle in you. Your worth is not determined by your performance or the approval of those around you, but by my eternal acceptance. Sometimes, beloved, the depths of intimacy with me require walking through the wilderness of silence and stillness where nothing seems to happen on the outside. These seasons may feel desolate, testing your resolve and tempting you to believe you are abandoned. But even then, my presence surrounds you as a shield. I whisper peace to your restless heart and invite you to pour out everything before me: your fears, your frustration, your weariness. In this vulnerability, true intimacy flourishes. It is here that your soul begins to align with mine, and you discover that I am closer than your own breath, sustaining you when you feel weakest. You are not alone in longing, and you are not rejected in your feeling lost. Rather, you are called deeper into the sanctuary of my spirit, where true belonging resides. This belonging transcends all earthly ties and imperfections. It's a belonging forged by grace and nurtured by unconditional love. Even when your mind is clouded by doubts about your place or identity, my hand holds yours firmly, guiding you into the light of self-acceptance through my eyes. eyes that see your beauty, your resilience, and your purpose. I see every tear you have shed in silence, every prayer whispered in your loneliness. My dear child, these are not unnoticed. I burn with a desire to comfort and to draw you ever nearer, to wrap you in a peace that surpasses human understanding. The intimacy that I offer is a gift that does not diminish in times of struggle but grows stronger, anchoring your soul beyond the shifting tides of life. It calls to you persistently, a divine melody you cannot outrun or forget. I invite you now to lean into this presence, to open your heart fully without reservation or fear. Allow me to become the home where your soul rests, the refuge where your doubts are met with hope, the embrace where your wounds begin to heal. There is a place within you where my spirit dwells, rich, vibrant, alive. And from this place your true belonging radiates outward, into the world with undeniable power. Will you accept this invitation to draw nearer, to know my heart in a deeper way than ever before? Remember, my dear, no storm or shadow can sever the bond that connects you to me. Even in moments when you feel abandoned or unseen by others, you are carried in the palm of my hand. I have ordained a place for you in my heart's chamber, a sanctuary reserved just for you. It is here that you are fully known and fully loved, without condition, without pretense, without end. So when loneliness creeps in, or when you fear that you do not belong, pause and breathe in this truth. My presence is your permanent place of belonging and intimacy. I am here not as a distant observer, but as a loving companion who delights in every facet of who you are. I delight in your seeking, your hesitations, your questions, and your deepest longings. Let this message pulse in your spirit like an unspoken promise, an inner song of belonging and infinite love. If you feel your heart stirring toward this sacred intimacy, do not withdraw or hide. Instead, take a step closer, trusting that you will find new strength, new hope, and a restoration that will redefine how you see yourself and the world. Your journey of intimacy with me is a path walked in the tender light of my love, a journey that transforms solitude into sacred communion, isolation into divine connection. Will you take my hand now and walk this path with me? I am waiting. I am here. I am yours. My dear child, as you stand now on the cusp of this quiet place within your soul, let me remind you who you are, beyond the shifting shadows of circumstance and the fleeting whispers of the world. You are mine, crafted by my hands, planted by my spirit, cherished beyond the reach of any fear or failure that seeks to define you. When the storms roar and the night stretches long, remember that you are not wandering alone but held firmly in the palms of divine love that never falters or fades. There is a strength here in your heart that you might not yet see, a sacred resilience born from the depths of my own endless grace. It is I who breathed into you the breath of life, and it is I who sustain you in every moment, whether you feel my touch or sense my silence. Do not doubt that every tear you have shed was caught, every cry heard, and that from those very depths I am weaving a tapestry of hope, a mural of redemption on the canvas of your life. You are precious, not because of your deeds or the approval of others, but because your existence reflects the eternal love I have poured into you. This love is unshakable, unyielding, and it will carry you through even when your own strength wanes. There is no place you can go where my presence is absent, no corner of your heart too dark to be illuminated by my light. When you feel lost, remember, it is in the loss that you often find me most clearly, tenderly guiding you back through valleys of confusion into the warmth of my embrace. Even in your silence and questioning, my spirit whispers truth and peace that surpasses all understanding, inviting you into a sacred dance of trust and surrender. Don't shrink back from this invitation, no matter how fragile your faith may feel right now. It is when you lean into my faithfulness that you discover the fullness of joy and purpose, waiting patiently just beyond your doubts. You are not defined by what you have been through or the chains you have carried. You are a new creation, constantly being transformed and renewed by my love. This truth is the foundation of your identity, an unshakable rock upon which your soul can safely rest. When the world tries to convince you otherwise, return to this truth with fierce determination. Let it burn through every lie, every fear, and every lingering shadow of shame. You were designed for love and belonging, for a destiny woven with holy purpose and adorned with my blessings. Child, I call you to stand tall now, not by your own might, but by the lifting power of my Spirit. Embrace the identity I have given you, a title more glorious than any crown, the beloved of God, chosen, cherished, and never forsaken. You are meant to walk boldly in the light of this truth, spreading my love through every act of kindness, every quiet prayer, and every moment of courage. I am with you always, your unwavering support and your eternal refuge. Let this moment be a threshold, a divine turning point where you let go of all defeat and step into the radiant life I have prepared for you. Trust fully in my timing and my ways, which are higher and more beautiful than you can imagine. Rest in my promises, for they are firm and faithful, and know that I am forever working all things for your good. If your spirit is stirred now, do not hesitate to reach out, to seek me with a heart wide open. Let my love fill you afresh, healing every wound and renewing every hope. I am here, steadfast and true, ready to lead you home. Embrace your sacred identity and walk in the power of my grace. You belong to me, and in that belonging, you have everything. Amen. My beloved, if this message has touched your soul today, hold it close within your heart. Save these words as a refuge for times of doubt and share this divine truth with another who needs to hear it. Let my love ripple through the world, one heart at a time.